Hey y'all, I'm Millage Austin. Thanks for visiting my channel and checking out this video. This week, I'm going to give you a behind the scenes look at a video that I just created for my friend John Engel. He has a channel here on YouTube and it is dedicated to just car stuff. He does car maintenance, he does car products, he does car reviews. He's even doing a step-by-step as he builds out a shop to store and to work on his cars. So this video in particular is going to look at the behind the scenes of how I went about filming a how-to video for his channel. Let's get to it. So like I said in the intro, this was a how-to video for how to change out the brakes on my 2018 F-150. And if you want to check it out, I will link it below, the entire video there from John's channel. And if you're like me, you do like to watch a bunch of different kinds of videos here on YouTube. I watch just unboxings, all sorts of things, but one of my favorites is how-tos. And I've done a couple how-tos myself. And one of the things that I've noticed about how-tos is they can sometimes be anywhere on a very broad spectrum. They can be very informative, but very boring.
All right, now that we've got all the lug nuts broken, we want to go ahead and jack the truck up so that we can secure it before we take the wheel off. We decided to use the frame rail at the bottom. You can see that we've got a rubber chalk block in there so that we can get a little extra height out of it. And we'll just go ahead and lift her up. And as always, remember safety first, so use a jack stand to support the F-150.
Or they can be not so informative, but very flashy and have a lot going on in them. And so I wanted to find that middle ground for this video for John. I wanted to give him a little bit of flash, but we wanted to make sure that we stayed true to his channel and gave a lot of good information. And oh yeah, we didn't have 30 minutes to do it. You want to keep it nice and succinct so that people will actually watch it and won't just go, okay. And so with finding that balance, there is something that I've learned from Peter Lindgren and other ones, and that is show, don't tell. And you got to find that balance of that, where you are talking through about the different things. You're talking about the torque specifications of certain bolts. You're talking about what you're doing, kind of outlining some things, but you're also showing. So in the case of working on a car, especially when you're doing a big job like a brake job on back and front, you have a lot of opportunities to get the material you need. For this, we did the back brakes and the front brakes. And if you're familiar with cars, the back brakes are fairly different than the fronts. The backs tend to be smaller, and there tends to be like one piston within the caliper that allows you to stop. Whereas on the fronts, they're bigger, they're beefier, and they sometimes, and most times, they have two pistons because you got to put more force on the front to stop a vehicle. And so what we did is we knew that I had two opportunities for each set. I had the driver's side, I had the passenger side. And so on the driver's side, the first side, we always focused more on getting the talking head and getting a little of the action. We made sure that we got the information there, and we also used it kind of as a trial to see if we would need to do something different on the other side. And so having the passenger side, that's when I focused highly on my lighting. I focused on getting in really close. Thank you, by the way, to John for doing the, probably 95% of the work on this truck. I intended to actually do some of it, but John just jumped in. He's a gearhead. He loves doing that kind of thing. He loves helping friends. And that made it a lot easier for me to switch to 120 frames per second, just do some different things to give it a little bit more spice to this video so that it wasn't just John going, "Hi, I'm John Engel. Here's a brake pad. Here's how you put the brake pad on. Here's how you make sure you do this." And then that was it. I wanted to really give some flash to it. And that's where you see the 120 frames per second pans. That's where you see him putting the wheels on, taking the wheels off. But something else with that too is I wanted to focus on some of the sound. When you're working on things like cars, even in a shop of woodwork and that kind of thing, there are really fun sounds. With the cars, there's the wrenches. They don't make a whole lot of noise when you're tightening or loosening, but when you go back to lock it in, you hear that tick, 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 tick. That's a fun sound to get involved in there. The air gun, taking the wheels on and off, that's a great sound to have in there to give your brain that message that, hey, something is going on. Even when I was doing the slow pan of the tire being put on, I made sure to use the sounds of the tires being tightened or loosened so that you could really put the whole picture together. So when it was all said and done, I had over an hour and a half of footage after I had even cropped it down. It took us in real life about 2.5, almost 3 hours between setup, talking, doing, filming, and all the different things. So this was definitely a case though of it's better to have too much material trying to get it down, because then I was able to be selective. I wasn't going back going, man, I wish I had gotten that. I wish I had some more footage of this. So like I said, I've dropped the link to the full video on John's channel down in the description below. Go ahead and click that and watch that if you feel like it. Also, while you're there, go ahead and hit subscribe on his channel. He does a lot of fun different things, and he's kind of getting a little bit more and trying some different aspects of car videos. And while we're at it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button on my channel if you don't already do it. Hit the little like button on this video to tell me that you liked this video. And I've got some more fun things in the works that I hope that you will like, and I will see you in the next video.
I wish that Carson, she used to like Lightning McQueen and cars, but now she's not really into it. Now it's Cocomelon's, man, that Cocomelon's her life.